Hello friends, in this video we will complete the remaining part of the 8th unit of the BFM of a module B, 8th unit, that is the risk and the basic risk management framework. In the last video we have completed the first part. Now in this video we will complete the remaining part. See friends, 8.4, that is the basic risk management framework. How the basic risk management framework is. So friends, remember one important point: management of risk is the major concern for the top management, right? It is the major concern for the top management, right? So it is important that the managing the risk is the main concern for the top management. Second is the management of risk begin with the identification of the risk and then quantification of the risk, that is finding the magnitude of the risk. Third is the important is the risk management is nothing but that require the special skill. For risk management the employees require the special skills. Okay friends, and it also require the separate department, you can say separate setup in the organization for the risk management. Okay, very important. Now see friends, see in short notes you can see here how the basic structure of risk management framework. What is the basic risk management framework? It consists mainly three parts. Very first is the organizational structure for the risk management. Second is the system or the process, you can say actual process of the risk management. And third is the strategy for the risk mitigation. Here graphically you can easily remember. This is the basic structure of the risk management. So indeed in this unit we have to study each and every point of that basic structure of the risk management framework. So friends, very first is the 8.4.1, that is subtopic is the organization for the risk management. See here, organizational structure for the risk management. What is the organizational structure for the risk management? See in your Macmillan book what they are saying. See here, risk management framework in an organization that has well articulated process covering the following area. What are the important area in the risk management? You should have a well organization for the risk management. Then next step is identification of risk, measurement of the risk pricing, risk monitoring and risk mitigation. There are the steps on the risk management. So we will see each step in the detail. So very first we have to study is the organization for the risk management. So friends, here see in a graphical representation what is organizational structure for the risk management. Very first is your board of director of your bank or board of director of the company is the top level management. Next is the risk management committee of the board. Next is the risk management committee. Next is the committee for the committee of the senior level executive. And next is the risk management support group. In the bottom we are having support group and in the top we are having board of director. So in a descending order I have put that. So friends, you can see in your book what they have given. They have directly given the risk management organization is consist of board of director, risk management committee, committee of senior level executive and a risk management support group at the bottom and BOD at the top. That is in the descending order. Next, what they are saying, say friends, board of director has overall responsibility of the management of the risk. That is also we have seen in the at the top, right? Means overall responsibility is the board of director. Second, board of director define the risk management policy procedure, set the risk limit and also reviews the mechanism, right? And the board should decide the risk management policy of the bank, right? That means board decide. What board do? Board will decide the policy of the risk management. What should be the policy? And also set the limit for the various risk limits, right? Next, what is the risk management committee? Next to that is risk management committee. What that committee do? See friends, that committee is a board level subcommittee, right? That means board of directors also are also there in that committee. That is the board level subcommittee. What that committee do? See, setting up the guidelines for the risk management. That committee set the guideline and also ensure the risk management process to confirm the policy. Okay friends, don't worry, in the short note I will explain you in the detail. Very important is that committee, that is board level committee, is setting up the prudential limit for and their periodical review. Next is the committee of the senior level executive. Committee of the senior level executive. That committee is very important in the implementation of the policy. Very important. This is very important. Who implement the policy? That is the senior level executive of the company or the bank are responsible for the implementation of the policy decided by the bank. There are MCQ. They can ask IIBF may ask MCQ based on that. That is working in the risk management, right? Next is the support group. Definitely name itself indicate they will give a definite support. What support? Analysis, monitoring and reporting. Analysis, monitoring and the reporting of the risk. So friends, see here in the short note you can easily remember. See what board of director do? They establishes the risk management policy and the procedure. Also set the limit for the various risk. And they are also responsible for the proper risk management because they are whole and sole responsible in the risk management board of director. Next is the risk management committee of the board. So friends, what is the risk management committee of the board? What they do? They set the guidelines. Very important. They set the guidelines and also they have to ensure that proper manpower, proper staff should be there in the risk management. Who will ensure? Risk management committee. This is also important. Manpower, staff is maintaining the staff is responsibility of the management committee of the board, right? MCQ can be set up here. So next is the senior level executive committee. Very important friends, star mark. What the senior level committee do? They are very important here. They are really important because they are implementing the policy set by the board of director. Their implementation work is done by the senior level executive. Okay friends, next we have already seen risk management support group. What the risk management support group do? They analyzes the process, monitor the process and also report to the executive committee. Why they report to the executive committee? See here in the diagram itself, support group will report to the senior level executive committee. Okay friends, we have completed that sub topic. Now we have to move to the next, that is the risk measurement. First we have studied the organization structure. Now we have to study the system or the process. So in that we will study the risk identification, measurement, pricing and monitoring. Okay, now next topic is to study is the risk identification. See here is the next topic. We have to study the risk identification. We have studied the structure. Now we have to study risk identification. See friends, what is a risk identification? Risk identification, you can see here. What is a risk identification? Risk identification, actually we have to identify what are the risk in the businesses. What are the risk in the businesses? See here, like a liquidity risk is there, interest rate risk is there, market risk is there, credit risk is there, right? There are different, they have elaborated in the theory part. So also there is also embedded risk is there, credit risk is there, operational risk is there. There are different risk in the risk management process. So we have to identify that risk very first, right? So we will see in short note. Don't read that much of stuff. So I have summarized for you. You can directly read from that summary. See friends, we have to do study the 8.4.2, that is the risk identification. So friends, here the first step is the risk identification. In the risk management, what is the first step? To identify the risk, right? Next, in the banking, most of the risk arises due to the banking and trading book. Very important. Banking and trading book. Banking book and trading book. What is banking book and trading book? See friends, in banking book, Risk due to the banking activity. What is banking activity? Like advances, deposits, these are the banking activities. Risk due to advance and deposit is comes under the banking book. So what are the important risks that come under the banking book? We can say important risk in the banking activity. Very first is the liquidity risk. What is a liquidity risk, friends? Liquidity risk means you don't have enough liquidity. That means you don't have the enough cash. How? See, if your advances increases and deposits sudden fall, then you will have less cash, right? That means you will have less liquidity. Second is the interest rate risk, is also called as the gap or mismatch risk, right? How it is interest rate risk arises? If there is a interest rate is more in the advances, less in the advances and more in the your deposit rate, so that type interest rate risk arises, means your interest rate is not matching, your not able to generate the profit. That is the interest rate risk. We can say this gap between the interest rate or mismatch between the interest rates. Next is the credit risk. What is the credit risk? Whatever you pay loan or advances to a borrower, that if it becomes default, then it is a credit risk, right? That we all know, that is basic. Next is the operational risk, like frauds, right? That comes under the operational risk. Next is the embedded option risk. Friends, this is very important. Last time IIBF asked a question on that. Embedded option risk. What is embedded option risk? See friends, if period of the loans, if the prepaid of the loans, sorry, it is not a period, it is prepaid. If loans are paid before the maturity and deposits are withdrawn before the maturity, then the risk come, that is called as embedded option risk. That is called as the embedded option risk, because you are suddenly you come to know that your deposits are falling, your loans are closing. That time you are unable to manage the business. That time is critical situation, that is risky situation, is called as the embedded option risk. Very, very important. Next we have to study the trading book risks. What are the trading book risks? Very first is the market risk in the trading book. That means what is market risk in case of trading book? Change in the asset price. Change in the asset price of the bank asset. Like bank have different asset, like currency hold. If bank holding the currency, that is foreign currency, and its value decreases, then there is a market risk. If bank is holding the shares of other banks or other institution and the share price falls, that is also called as the market risk. Okay, next is the counterparty risk. What is the counterparty, friends? You must have studied in your first module, that is counterparty risk, the default on the trade done by counterparty. Okay friends, next we have completed the risk identification. Now we have to study risk measurement. We have to study the risk measurement. See here friends, directly you can see here, it is very important. What is the risk management? Risk in risk management, it is a risk measurement. It is a risk measurement. See friends, after identification of the risk, next step is the risk management. Quantify or measure its impact, that is mainly a financial impact. Measure the impact of the risk, that is financial impact. That is nothing but the risk measurement. Okay friends, that quantitative measures of risk can be classified into three categories. We can say there are three types of risk measurement. There are three types of the risk measurement. Very first is the sensitivity based, second is the volatility based, and third is the downside potential. Very, very important. Okay, we will see detail each type of the risk measurement, how risk can be measured. See friends, very first, sensitivity. What is sensitivity? Sensitivity is nothing but it captures or it measures the change in the profit versus only one parameter, right? It measures the change in profit versus only one parameter. That is, for example, how much profit will increase if you increase your rate of interest of the personal loan by 1%. That means your change in profit depending on only one measure, that is the personal loan interest rate. That is nothing but a sensitivity. How it is sensitive to the single parameter, that is the sensitivity. It measures the change in profit versus only one parameter. Sensitivity also captures the deviation of target variable due to the unit movement of single market parameter. They have explained that things in tough language. In simple language, sensitivity is nothing but the change in a profit versus only one parameter. For example, change in a personal loan increase interest rate. Okay, see friends, here a term come like banking book, trading book, right? I have already explained you what is the banking book and trading book. Next, see here, there are some drawback about the sensitivity. Why? Very first drawback is it only refer to one parameter. Like we have seen increase in interest rate by only personal loan. Second, it does not consider the impact of other parameter. And second is it depend on the prevailing condition, and it changes the market environment changes. Okay friends, the definition itself self-explanatory about the drawbacks of the sensitivity. Okay, now we will move to the next topic. Next topic is volatility. What is volatility approach of the measuring of the risk? See, volatility is considering both upside potential as well as downside potential. What is upside potential? Means to gain. What is downside potential? Means to loss. Right? See, standard deviation is the square root of the variance. In ABM we have studied this formula. Okay. See here, volatility, it means variation in profit or loss or investment. How volatile is your profit or loss? How volatile is your profit or loss? It is nothing but your volatility, right? And delta or volatility, it measures the volatility of return. It also measures the volatility of the returns. Very important is the measure. It also measures the standard deviation. It also measures the standard deviation, means how your profit is deviating, right? You have to just remember basic definition. Volatility means how your profit is changes or loss is changes, or investment return on the investment is changes, right? How it varies, that is nothing but your volatility. Or deviation is nothing but the square root of variance of random variable, that is the standard deviation. That formula you have studied in the advanced bank management. Okay friends, see, important about volatility is it is based on the numerical. See here friends, in 8.3 we have studied the risk measurement, sensitivity and volatility, right? Now we have to see the numerical based on the volatility. Important is the only numerical on the volatility. See, numerical based on the volatility. Calculate monthly volatility if daily volatility is 1.5%. Solution. See, volatility over a month is nothing but the daily volatility into square root of t. Where what is t? T is how much time period for which we have calculating the volatility. Daily volatility is 1.5%, so 1.5 into under root of 30 days in a month. So for a month we have taken 30. So under root of 30 is around 5, right? 5 plus. So 5 into 1.5 you will get 8.22 as your answer. So simply for 2 marks they are asking this question, very very important. So it is very very important for your CIB examination. Okay friends, now we have to move to the next parameter. What is the downside potential? See friends, it is very very important. What is downside potential? In the first slide I have explained you ability to increase the upside potential, decrease the downside potential. Means how much risk can decrease your value of your loss, or how much risk can affect your profit or decrease your profit. That is the downside potential, right? See, volatility captures both upside as well as downside variation. It captures both. Here I have already explained, it captures both upside and downside, upside as well as downside variation. But downside potential only captures the downside variations. Downside potential only capture possible losses ignoring the profit potential, that is upside. It ignores the upside potential and only consider the downside potential of the losses. Very important. It measures the maximum losses due to the risk. Very important. IIBF directly ask question, which of the following measures the maximum losses? Very first option is the sensitivity, second is the volatility, and third is the downside potential. So you have to remember, downside potential is the measure of the maximum losses, VVIMP. Okay friends, we come to know what is the downside potential. We have already learned the concept of downside potential, that is ability to decrease the profit. So due to the risk, maximum decrease in the profit, nothing but your downside potential. Okay, now we will move to the next. We will study in brief because there are chances of asking question are very less. In the end, we will study the MCQ also. Downside potential is the most comprehensive measure of the risk as it integrates the sensitivity as well as volatility with adverse effect that we have studied. And important is the value at a risk, VAR. Value at a risk is downside risk measure. Very important. Very important for your MCQ. VAR is the measure of the downside risk measure. Okay. What is the risk pricing? What is the risk pricing? Next is we have to find the price of the risk. That is the risk pricing. So friends, see here. What is risk pricing? Understanding the risk is important for banking as it helps to set the prices. How prices are set? See, for example, for personal loan, there is rate of interest is high. That means we are setting the price for the personal loan. What is price? High interest rate is the price. Why high? Because there is no security. Okay, that is nothing but the concept of risk pricing. You come to know the concept. You have come to know concept. Now see here, though that much part is not important. Once you know the concept, just come to the directly the important points. Very first, what are the important factor we must consider while pricing the risk, right? To set the price of the product, we must consider what consider. Very first is the cost of the fund. What is the cost of the fund? Means if in case of bank, cost of fund is nothing but the interest paid on the deposit, right? So how much we are interest paying is important while deciding the cost for the lending interest rate. Second is the operating expenses. That means for banking, operating expenses should be considered for the rate of interest. Third is the loss probability. We have to consider the loss probability. That means we have to consider that if your all advances become NPA, that means that is the probability we have to consider. Next is the capital charge. That is the cost of the capital. That is the return to the investor. If investors are investing in your bank or share price, they are expecting some return. So that we have to also keep in mind. And also next is the profit margin and the return on the net worth. Okay friends, that factor we need to consider while setting the price. You just go through the factors and remember that, right? You have to remember that factors. Okay, next point we have to study is the risk monitoring and control. What is the risk monitor? Now we have set the price for the risk, right? Now we have to monitor the risk and control the risk. We have to control the risk. What we have to monitor? We have to monitor the risk. That is the monitor the process of the risk management. We have to monitor the process of the risk management, and we have to control the output. See friends, key driver in managing business is seeking enhancement in risk adjustment return on capital. That is RAROC, that we have already explained in the first video. Okay friends, how to monitor and control the risk? That is very easily in your you can read this, but after reading this, that is not worth to read this. So just remember how to monitor the risk. Simple. Strong reporting mechanism should be there, right? For the risk monitoring, there should be strong reporting mechanism. Next is the separate risk management department should be there, right? There should be a frequent audit. Also a RBI audit. Next is the periodic stress testing should be done. Periodically stress testing should be done. So that are important some steps to monitor and control the risk. Okay friends, Now we have completed the risk monitoring and the control. That is not important to read that all, just remember that points. Okay, now next is the mitigation of the risk. How to mitigate the risk, how to eliminate the risk. Simple friends, don't read that much abstract, just remember the important bits. How to mitigate the risk, how to eliminate the risk. Very first is the, you can take the insurance, right? So if loan get default, insurer will pay you money, right? Second is the collateral security, you can avail the collateral. If loan gets default, you can sell that collateral. And third is the, you can take the guarantee also. See here, risk mitigation would also involve the counterparty and it will always be associated with the counterparty risk. So how counterparty involved? You have studied first unit, you can easily come to know what is counterparty and all. We can use a prudential derivative. We can use a prudential derivatives, that is hedging for the counterparty risk. You have to remember this. For counterparty risk can be eliminated by the hedging. Important, very very important for your MCQ. Counterparty risk can be eliminated by the hedging. But what is hedging? You must know what is hedging. See friends, hedging is nothing but the transfer risk to a hedge counterparty. That is mainly in currency and security, mainly in foreign currency and security market. Hedging is a risk management strategy. Hedging is the risk management strategy. Okay, now we have to see the next part. What is next part? Risk mitigation through the other methods. That is, the other method are nothing but the diversification and the portfolio risk. What we have to diversification? See, that reduces the volatility of the asset and also securitization of risky asset. That means if our loan, there is chances of loan getting NPA, we can sell that loan via securitization. That is nothing but the diversification. What is a portfolio risk? It is nothing but the other method to mitigate the risk. Portfolio risk, your portfolio should be well managed. That is nothing but the portfolio risk management. You just remember the brief, because question chances of framing question on that is very rare. So important point I am already explaining you, that will definitely help you in the passing. Okay, what is a portfolio hedging? That is nothing but the reallocation of the portfolio that helps in the mitigation of the risk. Okay friends. Okay, now we'll move to the summary. What is summary part here? See here, what we have already learned here. See, in the beginning itself, what is risk management framework? It is basic organization structure, then system, then it is the strategy for the risk mitigation. What is a risk management framework? See, board of director, then risk management committee for senior level executive, and risk management support group. Okay, after that, what board of director do? They are overall responsible for the mitigation of the risk. Supervision aspect is also important, right? Risk management committee, what do? That is the board level subcommittee that is the responsible for the implementation. That is also very important, right? You can directly see from that. Risk management company of a board set guideline. Senior level executive is implementing the risk policy. Okay, now see friend, there are three methods to categorize or measure the risk: sensitivity based, volatility based, and downside potential based. And it is VAR is the important measure of downside potential. Okay, downside potential is the most comprehensive measure of risk, as it integrates the sensitivity and the volatility. It is also important sentence that I have already explained to you. Now see friends, risk reduction can be risk reduction is achieved by adopting strategies that eliminate the or reduces the uncertainty associated with the risk elements. Basically, a risk mitigation is the risk mitigation measure aimed to reduce the downside variability. That we have already studied. What is downside potential, downside variability. These measure also reduces the upside potential simultaneously. Very very important. How that reduces upside potential? See, suppose Yes Bank share price is very low today, right? We can buy Yes Bank share, but after some time the share price may go up, but it is not necessary that share price will go up, right? But if currently share price is down, so if we not invest, we can lose opportunity that price will go high in the upcoming days. So that is both cases, we can lose opportunity also, or we can lose capital also. So that is both upside as well as downside potential reduction. Okay, now we will move to the terminal question. Very first is the capital charge component of pricing accounts for. Capital charge component of pricing accounts for cost of capital, okay, loss provision, okay, both, for both it is pricing of the cost of the risk. Okay, that means both statement 3 and 1 are correct. Next, daily volatility of stock is 0.5%. What is 10-day volatility? See friends, we have already know the formula, daily volatility into square root of the period, right? So it will be 0.5 into under root of 10. We have to calculate 10. So under root of 10 is around 3 plus, because under root of 9 is 3. So 0.5 into 3 is around 1.5 plus. So 1.5 plus is 1.58. That is your answer. Orally you can solve for, this is very important. It is very important 2-mark question, right? Next is the risk mitigation result in reduction of the downside potential as well as reduction in the profit potential, that is downside potential as well as the upside potential, that is the capital loss as well as the opportunity loss. Okay, that means we have compared that module. That unit is very easy. That unit is very easy for your exam point of view. Now we can see some summary. After summary, see some important MCQ. The most important function of the risk management is, what is the most important function? Identification, estimation, measuring, or controlling? Answer is the controlling the risk is important function of the risk management. And you have to remember that systematic risk is a future. Systematic risk means what? That is the failure of the entire banking system. So friends, don't forget to subscribe and share Banker Zone. I am taking a lot of efforts only for you. Okay friends, bye bye, and all the best for your examination.